Hello everyone, Clacka the Geek here. Welcome back to the Clacka Chronicles podcast, episode 45, and today I'm going to be doing my first thoughts, reaction / review of the 2022 New Year's Doctor Who special, Eve of the Daleks. Now, going into this one, I honestly had no expectations. I genuinely just I thought the concept was kind of cool, kind of like a time loop, a bit like Groundhog Day, which, if you know, is one of my favourite films of all time. It's an absolutely amazing film, go watch it. But I genuinely just kind of was like, I didn't know what to think. I had no expectation for it. So going into it, I wasn't quite sure. And then last night I rewatched Revolution of the Daleks, last year's New Year special, and I watched it, and it is not particularly great. Like, it's not awful, but it's definitely not too great. It's like a 6 out of 10 for me now. It's like really fallen from grace. I found it quite overstuffed with stuff, the prison stuff, the Jack Robertson stuff, the defense drones, Dalek stuff, and then there's the Dalek Civil War stuff, there's Grand and Ryan's Goodbye, which I did like, but everything else just doesn't stick, and there's not too much going on the screen. So what I kind of wished for Eve of the Daleks was for it to be just a concise story of like this cool time loop idea, and focus on that. And I got my wish, because this story, whilst not amazing, it's substantial in my opinion. The idea of the time loop, as I said, is really cool. It obviously reminds me of Groundhog Day, the film, and also maybe Heaven Sent as well. So there is that, and I like it. It does build. You start off kind of the pre-credit scene wasn't the best. I thought the humour was quite cringy, and I didn't particularly like it. But I was kind of thinking, there's something not right. They're going to do something, and it's as they keep on dying and dying and dying over and over again, they're becoming more aware, and the tension does build quite nicely. And this whole time loop thing was caused by the Doctor's dying TARDIS, which was reset, and it's all cracked and stuff, so they can't use it. So that's adds a bit of tension. It's like, can't use the TARDIS. And something I really like about this is that the Daleks obviously use this, and they want to kill the Doctor because of what happened in the Vanquishers in Flux. Of you killed all the Dalek fleet, you're going to pay, this is like the price, isn't it? I'm like, a lot of people did have an issue with that. It's like, this was just brushed over. I'm glad that this is essentially biting the Doctor on the arse. It's like, you did this, there are consequences, and I really like that. The main thing I like about the story is that it was concise. It wasn't like Revolution of the Daleks. That's very much the counter opposite here. It's like, that was thrown too many plot lines and characters at the screen. I like the small scale nature of it, and I like that it was just, Chibnall had this idea, Daleks taking advantage of this time loop, killing the Doctor and friends over and over again, and they stuck with it. Although I do feel like they could have had maybe just a little something else. I'm not saying, bring in like Davros or the Master comes back or something, but I think maybe something a little bit more. Maybe have a lot more Daleks at the end. I think as opposed to just 3. I like how they added more Daleks over and over. I think they could have maybe just added a good number of them, not like a whole army, but like a good number of them maybe to as the story progressed. I think that's maybe my only concern with the story. Now let's talk about the characters. So obviously you've got the Doctor, Jodie, and I like Jodie in this episode. It wasn't like her strongest, so like War of the Sontarans, Once Upon a Time, Village of the Angels, and to be honest, most of Flux anyway, was, like her high point, peak. And then episodes like Seranga Conundrum, Orphan 55, Arachnids in the UK, they're like the I can't stand this Doctor. This kind of falls into the middle where it's like, it's not the highs of what we saw in Flux, but not the lows that we saw in Series 11 and bits of Series 12. I think, I enjoyed Jodie in this episode. Then we got Yaz and Dan. Dan is such an affable presence. He's not the most developed character, but he's just such a lovable guy, and he's great to have around. And then obviously Yaz, who he is good. And then they have the whole thing of, she fancies the Doctor, which I don't mind. I don't mind that. It's just, I think maybe the issue that I have with it is that the scene where it happens, it just felt kind of, I don't know, shoehorned in. It just kind of, it just felt very out of the blue in this story, just because I don't think it's really been touched upon for a bit. I don't know, I don't know, it just felt quite out of the blue in this concept. I don't know, but as I say, the idea of it, I'm fine with. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Then you got the two main side characters, Sarah and Nick. Sarah, I can't remember the comedian's name, but I thought she was quite funny actually, and I really liked her. She, her responses to everything that was going on. She had she was, scared and funny and obviously angry at points, and like I liked her responses, and I just thought, yeah, it's the nice human presence that we have. And then obviously there's Nick, who I preferred Sarah, but Nick was okay. There were some odd things with his character, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And also, Sarah's mum was played by somebody from Father Ted. I can't remember her name, but she was in Father Ted, and she was in Inside Number 9 this year. She was in an episode of that. But it was quite funny to see her. But yeah, I thought the side characters was pretty cool, and I like how it was, a minimal cast. It was like it did kind of felt a bit like an Inside Number 9 episode in a sense. It's one setting, one a small group of characters. Obviously, a bit more bigger than Inside Number 9, but I that was kind of cool. I just realised that. Then we got the Daleks, who obviously, I think Chibnall, he knows what he's doing with the classic monsters and the Daleks. He's, they are killing machines. They're killing over and over again. Sometimes when they miss, it is a bit ridiculous sometimes, but overall I think they're great. And I love their responses to like the mundane reactions of the the humans. It's like, Daleks do not apologise. Daleks are not fair. Daleks do not have managers. It's that sort of blend of the mundane and the fantastical that I really like. I really like that aspect of it. Also, the new weapons, the like machine gun thing. That's such a cool little addition, and I thought they were spot on how they would be. Visually, the episode does look very good. Obviously like the action scenes, and I like the atmosphere. With the corridors, the dimly lit, and I thought it was really cool. And there was obviously a Christmas tree in the background. Kind of makes me yearn for the days of the Christmas specials. But anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, visually it was really good, and there were some cool shots. There was a bit where they all went like Deal, and it was a one take of them going around the circle. That was a pretty cool little shot. I like that, and yeah, I there's not like a massive amount that I can say about this episode. It was a fairly bog standard episode, but it was pretty good, and it holds up. It's not. I think it holds up pretty well. I like some of the unpredictable nature of it, like with the different time loops as well. And I think the story is like the strongest part of the episode, in my opinion, which is not what I would say usually with the Chibnall episode, but it is. And I think the unpredictable nature of like what could happen in this next time loop, like I like that kind of unpredictable nature. It's like kept me guessing at least, and I enjoyed that. So overall, I'm gonna give this episode a 7. A 7 or a 7.5. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with a 7. I think it was a pretty good episode. It was obviously it's fairly bog standard, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't rushed. It was consistent and focused, and I thought it was pretty decent, and I enjoyed it. And then obviously there's the next time trailer for the Spring 2022 special, Legend of the Sea Devils. When the Sea Devils showed up, I nearly gave my dog a heart attack because I shouted out so loud. And I so wanted them to come back, and they're coming back. And with the original proper design, it's not changed. It's just, yes. I'm really looking forward to that in, I think, spring it said. So, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. What did you think of the story? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know all that in the comments below. Obviously, be civil with your opinion. As I say, it's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments below. I love to hear all the varieties of opinions. It's awesome. It's awesome hearing opinions. But that's it. Like and subscribe. Click the bell so you don't miss a thing. And this is Clacka the Geek signing out. And Happy New Year.